As in my previous videos, I've cleaned up the hole, or filled in the hole, some fiberglass and some Bondo, and I did a pretty poor patch job on the paint, so you can probably see, maybe you can see it, just right in here. So it's just, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and sand this down, get a light coat of sandpaper. I'm going to start with some 400 grit, see how that works, and then work my all the way back up to 2000 grit and some polishing compound. I'm just trying to smooth out this hood as much as I can before I take it and have it repainted, mostly just to get some experience of some body work and dealing with paint. So, alright, got a little roller block here, some 400 grit and some soapy water, and I'm going to go to work on this rough spot that I got in the middle of the hood where I painted it myself. So we'll kind of start sanding that down a little bit. Right, so I've just been working on that one spot, and you can kind of see the reflection of the light, so it's pretty sanded down. So I'm going to move on to a 800 grit. We'll see how that works. So I got the hole, some 800 grit on it, so it's kind of buffed it down nice and flat. So still a little bit of shine. You can still see the scuff marks in it. So my really only intent was to try and get that top layer of bad paint off. So let's go to the 1000 grit. Okay, so now we're down to I'm just through running over the 1200 grit. It's 1200, not 1000. So this side is wet and this side is dry, and you can see the, just the highs and lows spots in the, where it's dull and where it's not. So let's move on to 2000 grit. Okay, so I got the 400 where the patch job is, and I did a whole hood with 800, and I did two passes with 1200 and two passes with 2000 grit. And now I've got I'm using this, it's from the PPG Homebrew, I guess their brand of heavy cut compound, and this is what I put on here just to see how well it would do. But so this is it's still got a little bit of a haze in it from the sanding, but that compound has taken the scratches out, and you can't see it, but all of the little pits and marks and trash in the paint is gone completely. So as long as I can get down and get all the little marks out without going too deep, I think I'm good. So I'm going to do a half and half, the hood half completely buffed down and polished out, and then show the other half still sanded. So it's the next day. I got about half this hood done, and so you can see the reflection of the light, and then here's the other half. It's completely still sanded, so you can see that compared to the door. And let me get from the other side over here, and you can really see just from polishing putting the compound on it, and just keep working it nice and slow and even. And this is just with the heavy cut compound, so I figure once I put the other couple of layers of compound on there, it's really going to bring this thing back to life. So outside of the patch, which you can actually see that there's not even hardly a line there, but come along, I'm done. So so this is what the breakdown. I did I get all Sandpaper, and this is just a heavy cut compound. It was cheaper than the Meguiar's, but it does a good job. So I went over with the number 4, number 2, then Ultimate Compound, then I waxed it. So let's see what you can. I don't know if you can. The sun's not out, so it's kind of hard to see, but I mean, it's a pretty good shine. what I really want to do is go back over it with some real fine grit orbital pads, the orbital sander pads, get a much more even buff to it, and bring it even down a little bit better shine. But you can't even, from this angle, you can't even tell what I did to the hood. So but anyway, it's all right for a first time. I did the rest of the car too in the compound. So I think I'm ready to put the emblem back on it. Later. Right, here's one last look underneath the lights in the garage. So it's not super clear, but I don't know if you can get this. Probably not. But all the little nicks and the little pits that I was looking at before are gone, and I don't know if you can see them here. Maybe you can see them here. I'm not sure. Just little bitty, basically just pits and bad spots in the paint. I really don't think you can see that, but yeah, I think you see all those little bitty bad spots. So that's what was in my hood, and now they're gone. So I'm going to sand off this top also. And so this little experiment, I think, is what I'm eventually going to do is wind up sanding my poor patch job down and redoing it, and then spraying some clear over it myself, and saving myself a lot of money, have it repainted, and be done with it. Later.